Hello everyone, Pete and Grata here from the Purple House Wellness Centre at Forth. Today we just want to talk a little bit about kids. School's back and kids are getting a bit stressed again.
And parents.
Paul, our son-in-law, he trains kids in basketball, and he was talking to us the other day saying there was only one kid who had a smile on his face and was happy when he did the training. The others were
at the end of the day
stressed and grumpy. And that child, he is homeschooled. All the rest had been to school and they were grumpy. And we've talked to our kids who have got kids in primary school and high school now, and they all come home grumpy and stressed and tired and out of sorts. And autumn is just around the corner, so change of seasons, so kids need a bit of extra support. We had a little boy brought to us back a while, and the teachers were wanting him to go on medication, Ritalin, because he was totally disruptive, and he came. His parents brought him to us, and rather than the school was wanting him to have a psychological consultation and everything, but it actually boiled down more to
toxins in his body,
his digestive system and toxins in his body, and disrupting his brain and
personality.
Yeah, change kids, and we've had kids brought to us, and they have changed in quick time. 2-3 weeks, they're really good kids.
You actually get to see the real child. So a lot of the time the parents beat themselves up because, especially moms, so let me just interrupt. Moms always blame themselves, and so you have mom guilt and all the rest. And when you see the bad behaviors in your child, or you pull your hair out because you think, well, why is my child behaving like that at school? I mean, we've been through that ourselves with our children. But it really boils down to what's going on in the child's tummy a lot more than what, and that because the tummy is the first brain. And 80% of the messages that are processed by the brain actually come from the tummy.
And our brain takes at least a quarter of our energy, probably more with developing brains in kids. And so it needs a nice, even energy source all day long. And one young kid that was brought to us, I recommended the parents just change him to mainly good fats for energy and give him a probiotic, get good gut bacteria replenished on a daily basis. And he was a perfect kid in 3 weeks.
Yeah. So good fats are butter, cream, cheese, meat fats, coconut oil.
Yeah.
And if you give your child like a few slices of butter at night, or lamb chops and lamb chop fat, they also can sleep all night. So that goes for little kids as well.
Sleep much better with saturated fats.
Yeah, they're called saturated fats. It's really, really good for your brain and your nervous system. Yeah, so that was, we just call him Johnie, right?
Yeah, Johnie had disrupted sleep as well and was all over the show. And
really bad.
It looked like psychological, but it boiled down to just not getting energy, and his gut bacteria were non-existent or full of...
Well, his brain was pushing toxins around, right? Yeah. And so let's just talk about those toxins quickly. So Johnie also had worms and parasites, right? So worms and parasites are a big burden to your body, and worms tend to also attract heavy metal toxicity. So if you have heavy metal toxicity, you don't need much of those. So heavy metals are mercury, cadmium, aluminium, which is, we'll put it in the same category. All this stuff is in our rainwater, it drops down on us. It's also in our drinking water, so we have fluoride and all that. So just to get back to the parasites, if you believe that your child doesn't have worms and parasites, you're probably wrong, because everyone has worms and parasites in their body. And so everyone needs to be consistently doing worm treatment or parasite treatments. And so we have a really good herbal one, that's this one. So when the worms die off, they again release heavy metals and toxins in the bloodstream, which can make you feel a little bit crazy for a few days. So
another one we've got is from BioRay. We have a kids and a teenage one to help mop up heavy metals and get rid of parasites and
to put them in a good brain place.
Yeah,
it really works as good as the package tells you. So if your kids are ratty and illogical and naughty and all the rest, all the labels that we give our kids, once you do a detox, and the detox is just in the form of drops, that's it. And the same here. So they also get rid of the heavy metals. You have a new child on board. Of course, we also, and you can come in and talk to us more about parasite cleanses if you're interested, because we're not always free to share everything with you online. So iodine drops are also really important for pregnant moms, babies, children, adults and old people. In fact, so all the way through your life journey, you need some iodine drops, right? For the same reason.
And if we don't get iodine, which we don't normally in our diet, then fluoride, chloride and bromide will jump in the place of where iodine should be, and we'll have toxic hormones created by our thyroid. And
those toxic hormones affect your brain.
And we're getting bromide in bread, flour products, chloride and fluoride in our water. Now, fluoride was given to concentration camp inmates, prisoners, to make them docile and compliant. Now, yeah, maybe we want our kids like that, but not really. You want them
independent thinkers,
and you want them live, full of energy and alive.
And bromide is in all the work gear, like the fluorescent work outfits. It's in your mattresses, curtains, and pizza. It's put in bread and milk, and that also makes
strawberries are grown. They use bromide to grow strawberries with as a
soil sterilizer.
But bromide was also given to the armed forces back.
Probably still do it. Yeah,
they may still do it, I'm not sure, but it's to dampen, suppress their sexual urges.
Again, to keep...
So it would knock, our
testosterone.
Particularly men's hormones, way out of kilter. And that today is a real problem in today's world.
Well, that's right, because...
Male fertility and
male testosterone levels are dropping dramatically. Like, it is a huge problem, but that's for another story.
But you want your kids getting all the nutrients and all the proper hormones, and so they develop into well-rounded, healthy adults.
That's right. Also, when you're pregnant, just let's step back. If you're a couple and you're looking forward to having a baby, especially the man should make sure that your sperm is really, really healthy, because all the latest research shows that the mom's pregnancy, the health of the mom, depends a lot on the husband, doesn't it, Pete? The sperm.
For at least 3 months you have to be healthy.
So have your iodine in, really pump up your nutrients. Like we've got some really good all-around nutritional support, so come and talk to us as well about that. And then iodine is super important for the husband or the father and the mother to have iodine. And when the mom takes iodine regularly during the pregnancy, apparently the child's IQ will far surpass yours, which is what it's all about, isn't it? Because we would like to see each generation to be smarter than the previous one. That's really the path of evolution. So that's how you can support it. So the next thing, we want to talk about sugar briefly. So I quickly want to remake the story we said last week. We've got a donkey and a cow. And the last 3 weeks, they were getting a lot of fruit scraps from the Airbnb people and stuff. Which normally they don't get any fruit scraps at all. So they were just getting the peel and the core and so on. And they were chomping away on that. And we noticed every single time they were given fruit scraps, they broke out of their paddock, which they never do, and it hasn't happened since, Pete. And their behaviour just went completely bonkers just from something as innocent as like half a bucket of fruit scraps. So our children are given like a fruit break at school, they're given sugar. Apparently our children have about 30 teaspoons of sugar per day, like accumulated from your bread and from rice and pasta and all that.
120 grams.
Which is like their bodies can probably only handle 3 teaspoons, so it's way over the top, and all that sugar drives them absolutely crazy, and then they get punished for having bad behaviors when it's actually the chemistry inside their body is making them climb the walls or the curtains. So the child is not at fault here, it's the supervisor, the parent, really the caretaker, and that's why you have to be okay with being the bad cop, like being the food police. That's what I used to be. And I used to get hated by my kids for sure. But anyway, look, I'm still alive, I'm still smiling, I'm still happy. My kids still want to spend time with me, right? So it's okay, just be prepared to be the bad cop sometimes, right? For your child's sake.
They'll thank you for it later.
My mum, she wasn't on the same page as me at all. My mum was an eternal sweet tooth. And she still used to go behind my back. And whenever she visited, like bring Smarties, they're the worst, of course, like, and all sorts of disgusting, in my opinion, lollies and stuff. So the second she left, I would always chuck them in the rubbish bin, empty the rubbish bin, put it near the road or something. Otherwise, the kids would still find it. Anyway, you know the struggles. It's hard work, and you don't get a thank you for it at the time.
So changing your kids' fuel source or energy source to fats instead of sugars, or mainly to fats instead of sugars, is a key to giving the brain really good energy so it'll work properly.
Well, some really good foods, of course, eggs, like they're a complete food, like chook eggs. Of course, now there's a bit of a scarcity, but anyway, just stock up on eggs when they're hungry. Put plenty of salt on it, and then any kind of meat is good for your child. Like even sausages are still much better than, say, a fruit break, right? If we had given out our pets leftover sausages, they wouldn't have broken out of the fence, right?
May not have eaten them either.
No, that's right. But Clover, our cow, she literally was so clever. Then she just became very naughty, and she actually got a horn stuck in the fence and deliberately lifted
pushed all the staples out of the ring.
So she actually put some thought into it, right? So this is what happens. And it's just the sugar drove her brain crazy. So, I mean, there you go. So we're much more sensitive and susceptible than you could ever think of. So
giving your body or your kids' bodies the nutrients it needs, so getting the digestion cranked up with good nutritious food and lots of fats for good energy. But then often they need a little bit of a boost because they are under stress at school.
They're bombarded with information.
They're really stressed out, and
there's peer pressure.
And peer pressure, and just having an extra boost of a good nutritional support from a supplement is a good thing to just assist their bodies, particularly over the winter period. So
this is also called minerals in it, right? So if you go to the supermarket, you often see kids supplements, but they're always lacking minerals. So that's why it's called Mighty Mins. It's short for minerals. It's also called vitamins and other building blocks.
Amino acids.
And actually it's very economical. So it's got 240 wafers, that's US, for edible, so they're like lollies, for $60. So it's very, very economical as well. And then you don't need to worry, actually $59, but still. You don't need to worry that they are deficient in anything. Of course, we also...
And there's been experiments done on kids that are taking these, and their grades have improved by 2 grades in subjects.
So it brings out their potential, right? So we already talked about salt. Like our children need way more salt as well, so healthy salt. So give them free access.
Up to the age of 7 or 8, you can give them just a bowl of salt and tell them that they can have it whenever they like, and they won't ever have too much.
No.
Because they've got the instincts same as all the animals have up to about that age, and then for some reason we lose it.
The instincts are still pure. We still have our instincts. It just gets covered up on a whole lot of programming.
It gets taught out of us. Yeah.
Just gets programmed out of us, right? All right. So magnesium, of course, is fantastic. That is the key mineral to really calm your nervous system down, and all the way through life, literally, it supports your nervous system and your brain.
Adult dose of the powder is half teaspoon to 1 teaspoonful. And ever since our youngest son's eldest child, pretty well since he was born, they've been giving him a teaspoonful. And
when he was a little baby,
he wouldn't sleep otherwise.
No, that's right. So, when he was like a little baby like that, we watched Tom and Luce give Wilbur magnesium, and we go, hey, wow, isn't that a little bit much? And I said, no, like if we give him less, he doesn't sleep. So Wilbur, he had like the tongue and lip tie, which is an epidemic proportions in today's world as well, which anyway, Pete and I, we believe that's from too much folic acid that everyone is told to have, so we don't recommend that are pregnant. You know, it's not something that I would take myself. Anyway, so Wilbur, he had so much stress in here, because like when all this is too tight, it pulls all the neck muscles and the jaw muscles are way too tight, right? So he did need little operations, but on top of that, he's done really, really well, hasn't he, Pete, with Magnesium Day? And he's 9 now. He's absolutely thriving. So basically, and then of course a really good probiotic. So something like that is an excellent probiotic for your tummy, because like, yes, it's one thing to get rid of your worms and parasites. You also need to make sure that the healthy gut bacteria are in the right range, right? So your gut bacteria need to be at least 90% beneficial, and you can have like 10% of rubbishy ones. That's still okay, that you won't be sick. But if it gets less than 90%, let's say it's tipping towards 70%, now you're definitely going to get sick. So always make sure your gut bacteria are healthy. So people will think, oh yeah, but I eat yogurt or I do this and that. But the yogurt that people buy often has way too much sugar in it. So only buy the biodynamic yogurt from the supermarket, right?
And that is mainly Lactobacillus acidophilus. It doesn't have a broad range of different good probiotics in it.
That's right. Or you can have sauerkraut and kimchi and all those yummy fermented vegetables. Our grandkids are used to those, so like it is an acquired taste. Or apple cider vinegar with the mother in it, so like organic apple cider vinegar is also really, really great for your children. And then you mix it in, make a hot drink with a little bit of natural organic honey. So honey and cider vinegar is a really wonderful drink for your child as well. So I think that's about it for today.
Bone broth was another one. So get some good quality bones from either chickens or lamb or beef and boil them up for 24 hours. Throw the bones out and add a few lower starch vegetables like carrots and celery and a good lot of salt. And a bowl full of that is a meal as well.
And if you can't be bothered cooking bone broth, but it is super easy though, we also sell bone broth powder and so on.
The fat's been taken off that, so you'd add more good fat to that when you've got it in your bowl. Yeah, so
bone broth is definitely something that we recommend as well, right? You don't even have to put vegetables in it. You can just drink it with added salt, and it's a very nutritious drink that heals and seals your tummy, right? So it heals all your mucous membranes in your body as well. Also, if your child is just really toxic, so you now understand, okay, my child isn't psychologically damaged or whatever, but it's just all a sign of toxicity. You can book your child in either with Pete or me, and we can spend an hour healing session with your child or children and remove all those toxins during a healing session. It's basically like a reset Like we recalibrate your organs, your systems, your energy field, your nervous system, and all of that. And the toxins are gone. And we do that energetically speaking, because if you think that's strange, but it's actually not strange at all, because we are 99.9999% energy, right? And only tiniest bit of us is material or physical material matter. So we are very, very experienced at detoxing children through energetically speaking, and the change is like immediate, like 100% immediate. You see it straight away. So that's how we keep ourselves healthy, and our kids and grandkids as well, and many other children who come through the door that we've had the privilege to work with. Anyway, so I hope you found this interesting. Let us know if you've got any concerns, or if you have more questions, you can shoot us an email.
Things we've mentioned are on our
website,
online shop.
Yeah, go and check out our shop. Of course, when you put in an order, it's processed the same day. And all the other times we're open Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, and we're here to help you. So we also have a receptionist on those days, so she can answer your questions on the phone. Hope you found this informative, and let us know how we can support you. If you want more news, we can talk about it next week. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Bye.